The whole of Battlefield 6's launch has been an absolute whirlwind. From playing and on the content side of things, wanting to get specific things up sooner than others, my Google Calendar for planning videos has been a jumbled mess, and one that I've wanted to get up for a few days now. I was working on this actually a week before the game launched, leading up to it in my early access session, because I love stuff like this, but it's a full collectibles guide for Battlefield 6's campaign. As a completionist, as someone who loves finding hidden challenges in games and getting the minor rewards for doing them, I knew from the moment I got my hands on with a few campaign missions a few weeks back and saw that there were collectibles in this condensed build of a couple of missions we had available that I wanted to make this video. So now that the game's launched, that's what we're doing here. I spent about 15 hours combing every single bush, crate, debris field, and more searching for every one of these collectibles so that you wouldn't have to, but lucky for you, not so much me because I wasted so much time, none of them are that hidden. In fact, I found myself thinking, wow, this would have been a great place for a collectible, but oftentimes it just didn't happen. Today we're running down where all 30 collectible locations are and what's on the other side of finding all of them. So drop your thoughts, drop a like, and do me a huge favor, hit that subscribe button if you're new to the channel and you'd like to help us out on that road to 700,000 subscribers, as well as staying up to date with all things Battlefield 6 and other FPS content. We have an incredibly busy next month and a half still upcoming, so I'd love to have you in the community. For now, let's get into it. Let's start out with Mission 1, Always Faithful. The first collectible or dog tag doesn't come into play until a little bit into the mission. You're packing up, ready to ship out when you're ambushed. That whole of the initial base has a number of different locations that I think would have made some good spots for a collectible, but none are there. If you do want to pay attention though to the beginning part, the very beginning, turn around immediately once you actually have control to move around at the beginning of that mission and pick up the dinosaur on the table. That will actually give you a hidden achievement, but the collectibles don't start until after you get out of the turret fleeing from packs. Your first dog tag will be found next to the ammo resupplies when you're about to meet up with the sniper squad. It'll be right there on the crate between the two ammo boxes. Notice how they shimmer? That's your marker for future reference. They're still pretty hard to spot sometimes, but that may be a helping hand if it catches your eye, which it did for me quite a few times. The second collectible is stuck to a cork board with a combat knife after you plant the second C4 in the building before making your way to the roof. And finally, the third one is right after you zip line up to the roof, make a left, and then there should be an ammo cache next to some containers and a cinder block with a water jug and some cups. Next to those cups and the water jug, you'll find that third and final collectible. The next mission, The Rock, as soon as you skydive in, you'll probably want to jump in and immediately get into the action, but don't. Again, turn around and make your way to a small container by the AA battery on the ground, and you'll find your first collectible. The second collectible will be located in the second wing of the Cavern Museum. This one next to the dummy of the radio operator that you'll have to jump the rope and grab, but don't tell the museum curator. They might not be too happy with you taking part of their exhibit. And the final collectible will be found hanging up in the shipping container sort of armory of sorts while trying to destroy the AAA guns. This on the left side of the container. Just interact with that and you've got all three from The Rock. Mission 3, Operation Gladius. Once you get on foot, the first collectible is found on a crate at the top of the hillside where you just cleared out the pack's forces. If you can, I'd recommend approaching it from the left because if you move too far up the main streets, it will enable the progression to move on to the next checkpoint objective, and you'll have to run out of bounds like I did to acquire it. The second collectible is when you're finding a way through the broken buildings to reach the Overwatch position. This one will be on the rooftop patio on the cart next to the wine bottles. And the third and final collectible is in the City Hall building. The objectives will push you upwards to flush out any pack's enemies, but if you make an immediate left when entering, or the roundabout way that I did it where you broke through some windows trying to search back alleys, you'll find the collectible dog tag hanging from a combat knife on a poster in that first side room. Mission 4, Night Raid. These I think may have been the most tedious and annoying ones to me, especially when using NVGs and if you're swapping back and forth being blinded by the animation. The first of 4 dog tags this time is found after entering the palace. There's this section that's on fire, and then you'll have to go to the upstairs to the first door that your squad will be ready to breach. In that back room of that room, you can grab the dog tag hung up on the wall with a combat knife. The second dog tag can be found on the soccer or football pitch while you're looking to make your way to the exfil transport. It'll be off on the ledge by the edge of the map next to these spray paint bottles. The third dog tag is after the van explodes. You'll be moving through these corridors, and they'll all have shops around them. There's a shop with mannequins that have shirts on, and the tag will be on that rounded table in there. And the final dog tag for Night Raid is found in the basement armory where you have to go and grab those rockets to take out the helicopter while you're holding out for Lopez. But when you go down the stairs, the immediate wall to your left will have a no packs poster that the dog tag is hung up on there. Mission 5, No Sleep. The first collectible is once again at the very beginning of the mission. There's a lot of tents to search, but to save your time, just go into the briefing outpost and then immediately turn to the desk on the left, and you'll see it first there. The second dog tag is in the PAX HQ after you have that little chat with Kincaid. This one is honestly kind of hidden from the darkness. I think you see me in my footage even do a double take because I only saw it because of that golden shimmer that we mentioned earlier. But collect it off the corkboard, you're good to go. The third and final collectible is found right after you get T-boned in the subway tunnel, and then in that shipping crate immediately outside of there where there's various weapons and ammunition. Next to the portable light, you'll find the final collectible for No Sleep. Mission 6, Moving Mountains. For this, the first collectible is in the safe house with President Fernandez. It's kind of a lot of area that there could have been something hidden in like one of those side apartment kitchens or something like that, but you won't find the first one until you actually get to that checkpoint of the fire station hideout. From there, make your way to the kitchen. In the back of the fire station, you'll find that dog tag next to the donuts, mug, and notepad. The second is actually really well hidden in plain view. In the trailer on the outskirts of the park you have to clear, there's an L-shaped setup of sort of just folding desks that on the floor next to the boots, you'll find the collectible. I don't think that I would have found this one had it not been for the prompt that popped up, and even at that point I was lucky because I was looking down slightly. It's pretty well hidden in those floorboards if you have your textures on high. The third collectible is found at the end of the subway tunnel sequence where you get to the one stop before heading topside. There'll be a cinder block display of the map of the subway trains and a crow bag and a bunny rabbit stuffed animal next to it. That's where you'll find the collectible for that. And the fourth and final one is shortly beyond that, where in the park as you're headed up the stairs, next to one of the fallen soldiers, you'll find it on the ground. Kind of a tough one to end on. Mission 7, Nile Guard. There's only 2 in this mission, and they're pretty close to each other. It's a shorter mission, all things considered, especially when you consider that you're on foot for like maybe 40% of it, so make sure you don't miss them. The first collectible is through the first building to the right in the courtyard as you get out of the tanks. Like you go through one set of buildings and then there's this little courtyard. It's pretty well hidden, but it's by the pair of boots and the tree that's standing in that courtyard. The second collectible is through the next set of buildings, so like actually right across the other side of the wall. There is a little shop or like cutaway building of the right side of that courtyard that you'll be able to find, again, a no PAX poster hanging up in the back of that with a collectible hanging from a combat knife on the wall. Mission 8, Operation Ember Strike, has 4 dog tags once more. The first of which is right after the intro when you get on those ATVs. You can drive down and kind of just patrol the valley however you see fit, but in the one broken down building, there is a dog tag under the window in that building. The second dog tag is in that camp to the left of the valley near Bravo and Charlie data links on the weapon chest next to the cup of coffee and canteen. The third dog tag is accessible after you take out the reinforcements with the switchblade rockets. Here on the left side, there's a trail leading up the hill. Go past that first chair and table up further to the supplies hidden in the bushes where you can find the M44, and then the opposite chest of that is the collectible. And the fourth and final dog tag can be found at the final little camp before you head up to the dam. Here you'll find it again on the chest next to the clipboard and a water canteen. And finally, the last mission, Always Forward, has 4 dog tags once more. The first wave of assaults you're going to make on the PAX forces will lead you to this little encampment where there's a hangar with a bunch of different trucks. On the ground to the right of the middle truck, you'll find that first dog tag, but it's easy to miss. The second you'll find after pushing past the tarmac. If you picked up a launcher and take out the jets, you've gone too far. On the cinder block next to the traffic cones and the sandbags to the right of the exit of that building, you get out right before that point, you'll find this one just sitting there. And the third collectible can be found at the back of the hangar with the first NXC rocket on a large crate. This one will be shimmering at you from afar if you're getting into the hangar, so this should be a relatively easy one to spot. And finally, the 30th of 30 collectibles, after the NXC rocket explosion, you'll be forced into the bunker. To the left of that first area, you'll find it on the top of a wood pallet and crates opposite of the trailer that has a lit up doorway. And then, there you have it. You've got all 30 collectibles across the campaign. So what do you get for doing that? Well, along the way, you'll have encountered a few things from the in-game challenges and trophies. You'll end up earning achievements, trophies, whatever your platform calls them, for finding 1, 5, 10, 20, and all 30 collectibles. You'll also get rewards for finding all of the collectibles from each of the 9 missions, so 9 rewards there that you can get individually for completing the mastery of that specific mission, and then you'll finally get a special dog tag to show off in-game for finding all 30 collectibles. So, is it worth it? I mean, that's entirely up to you. As a completionist, it's kind of the thrill of the hunt for me, and I'll happily take a dog tag to show off and maybe get questions of, where'd you get that one from, if somebody sees it. But ultimately, I could see why people would say, well, I don't really think it's worth my time. I don't want to play a 5-6 hour campaign just for an extra dog tag. It's subjective, but what do you think? Like the collectible grind? Gonna do it yourself? Have you done it at all? let me know. But that's where we're going to wrap it up. Hope you enjoyed this. Hope you found it insightful. And if you did enjoy the video, do me a favor, drop a like on it. And of course, if you are new to the channel, make sure to subscribe so you don't miss a single thing regarding all things Battlefield 6, as we still have a lot to cover upcoming. And